If you're a GTA Online money grinder, this is just one of those weeks that you do not want to miss out on because we have some incredibly easy and fast ways to make money in the game this week. And those are with the Dr. Dre contract, the finale itself where you get paid $2 million instead of the usual $1 million, but also security contracts where you can make upwards or up to $140,000 in less than 5 minutes in like optimal cases and best cases right there. Now, you're probably already running the agency business, but if you're not, it is on discount this week by 30% off. It's worth it at full price anyway, but this week, if you don't have it, you absolutely have to pick it up because we have a bunch of money bonuses for the business itself. And today on the show, we're going to be going over exactly what you need to do on how to take advantage of this weekly update bonuses to the best of your ability, maximize your money grind, earn millions fast, easy, but most importantly, absolutely solo. And I think most importantly here, besides it being solo, is also how to have fun while doing it. You know, the grind in GTA Online is cool and all, but if you're a type of player who just absolutely finds it just painful, torturous, and you're not having fun, well then that of course really sucks, but it does not have to be a chore. So in this video, we're going to jump in and show you how to make money and have fun while doing it. Getting started, once you own an agency, you'll want to come to your agency computer because that is where all of the action is taking place this week. Of course, we do have triple money and triple RP on the community series jobs, plus double money and double RP on the double down adversary mode, which actually just released and is back into the game for a limited time this week. It's in the jobs playlist. Check adversary modes. It's there. I can't access it because I'm sitting down right now. But once you log into the agency computer, we can check out both the security contracts as well as the VIP contract. I just completed the Dr. Dre contract, so I can't showcase it to you to like highlight it on my screen. So I guess before we discuss the Dr. Dre contract, let's talk about security contracts real fast as well. Or honestly, with the Dr. Dre contract anyway, you have a bunch of setup missions and then you have the finale, right? So you have the two setup missions. If you've never done it before, there's two setups and then you only need to play them once. After you complete it once, that's it. You don't have to replay them. For the main part of the VIP contract, the data leaks, you have the nightlife leak consisting of the nightclub mission, marina mission, and the nightlife leak finale. Then you have the high society leak, which consists of the country club mission, guest list mission, and high society leak finale. Then the South Central leak consists of Davis, the Ballas, and the South Central league finale. Then you have two more like sub-finale and finale missions, Studio Time, and Don't Mess with Dre. Once you're done with all of those missions, you get paid the $1 million. This week, it's $2 million. Not only that, but you normally make about $100,000 as well along the way from doing all the setup missions because each one pays out $10,000. Sometimes they pay you $8,000. Or a little bit more, a little bit less, but all in all, you make about 100 grand. And then this week's weekly challenge as well is just complete the Dr. Dre contract finale where you make the 1 million or the 2 million this week, and you get $100,000 for doing it then. So all in all, for the Dr. Dre contract itself this week, you're pulling in $2,300,000 basically. 2 million for completion, 100K for the weekly challenge, 100K for the setups where each one pays about $10,000. Now moving into these security contracts, let's break these down. These are free mode missions that you can launch from the agency computer, and there's good variety which helps the grind stay fresh. So we have asset protection. This one shows up on screen. Basically with asset protection, you guard cargo and shipments for about 10 to 15 minutes. Later waves spawn Molotov enemies, so be alert on those. But the more you protect, the better your payout. With something like liquidize assets, for example, you tail a target, destroy their goods, plant explosives to finish the job, get paid. Recover valuables, you find a safe, you retrieve the code, grab the item, deliver it back to the agency. Then there's other missions like a rescue operation where you need to save a client who's under attack, wipe out the attackers, and escort them to safety. With a vehicle recovery mission, you recover a stolen vehicle from like hostile gang territory and deliver it back to the agency safely. And then finally, in the gang termination mission, you basically eliminate 4 high-ranking gang members after fighting through a bunch of guards. Most of these missions are in the city. Sometimes with vehicle recovery, you go all the way up to Humane Labs. Sometimes with the rescue operations, most of the time they take you to the docks or somewhere in the city, but sometimes you have to go up to Sandy Shores or even Raton Canyon to rescue the client, and that's a little bit annoying, but most of the time it has to do with the difficulty you're doing. So sometimes you get the worst variant of the mission even on the lowest difficulty, but most of the time I would say the worst variants of the missions are on the highest difficulty because they take the longest. The worst meaning the longest to do the mission. So on professional difficulty, you can see there's different levels of difficulty. We have professional and specialist available to us. Professional is the lowest difficulty, and the contract payouts scale depending on the difficulty. So on professional, you can make anywhere from $62,000 to $84,000. On specialist, you can make anywhere from $88,000 to about $112,000 with double money. And then the highest difficulty, specialist plus, you make anywhere from $120,000 to $140,000 on double money. Now these can be farmed basically back to back to back, but there is a 5-minute cooldown after each one. So I would use that time to either run the payphone hits, say if you're making the 2 times money with GTA Plus, or honestly work through your setup missions with the Dr. Dre contract, since both have double payouts this week, including that $2 million from the finale. And that's what I've been doing. I've been rotating between security contracts and the Dr. Dre setups to keep that money flowing in. And so let's break down my payout. So I got started with my grind today. I spawned into my agency, I grabbed my snacks and armor, and I did a recover valuables mission for $81,000. Then I did nightlife leak 1. Then I did another vehicle recovery for $132,000, did another Dr. Dre contract setup mission, and then I did recover valuables again for $67,500. Then I did recover valuables for $66,000, vehicle recovery for $70,500, recover valuables for $69,500, rescue operation for $78,500, vehicle recovery for $63,000, vehicle recovery for $72,000, gang termination for $89,000, and then ended with a recover valuables for $96,000, and then I finished the Dr. Dre contract. Now, obviously, I probably could have made more money had I kept farming these in the same session, because if you didn't know, if you changed lobbies just to fast travel back to your agency, like I like to do, that does sort of reset the momentum you have with contracts, because the more you do in the same lobby, you'll find the more specialist and specialist plus difficulty missions you get when you check the agency computer for more security contracts, versus like me, I'm constantly changing sessions to fast travel back to my agency because I have that set as my default spawn location, and then it kind of resets the momentum and I get professional and sometimes specialist difficulties. I have still had specialist plus difficulties pop up on the computer my first time in the session without doing any, but it's very, very few and far between. Whereas if I'm doing, say, 5-10 security contracts in the same lobby, I'm getting specialist and specialist plus, and I'm basically never getting professional difficulty ever again. So in the grand scheme of things, I made $2 million for the Dr. Dre contract, plus $100,000 for the weekly challenge, plus $100,000 for the setups. And then in addition to that, I also made $884,000 on those 11 security contracts I did, most of them being on professional and some on specialist difficulty. That gave me a grand total of $3,084,000. The security contracts, each one of them took me less than 5 minutes, so I spent about 55 minutes doing those. Also, I spent an hour, 20 minutes doing the Dr. Dre contract. All in all, it took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to make that $3,084,000, which is a lot of really, really good money right there. All right, as you guys saw, we went through my grind of doing all the security contracts while also checking off the setups on the Dr. Dre contract itself, but let's actually do one live so you can see just how fast these are to complete. And actually, as you can see on screen, these are my favorite 3 to do. Recover valuables is probably number 1 because you're either going to the Vanilla Unicorn strip club, the shoe store, or of course Tequila La, which is just west of my Hallwick agency. Vehicle recoveries, the worst variant is to get the Humane Labs one, but you can actually use the Iron Mule to transport the box fill, so it's not too bad, but will still take you a while. Typically you get that location on Specialist or Specialist Plus. Thankfully Rockstar doesn't send you up there on professional difficulty. It can still happen, but it doesn't happen all too often, so I wouldn't really worry about it. Then of course you can also go to the airport or various warehouses around the city. Rescue operations are also pretty quick. Unfortunately, you can either go to Raton Canyon, which would suck, or out to Sandy Shores, but typically you're either going down to the docks or there's one other place in town where you could go sort of near like the scrapyard, junkyard. And these are my favorite 3. Then you could also do the gang terminations. I would recommend you stay away, of course, from asset protections or even liquidizing assets, just because those, while those are fun, they just take too long to do. And so if you're looking to maximize cash, I would not recommend you do them. That being said, let's just jump into my favorite, the fastest to do, recover valuables, just so you can actually see how quick this is to do. So we just started this, and I'm gonna set my timer basically from right now. And well, actually I need to bring up my stopwatch on my phone real quick. Okay, so now I have it set. Let's just leave the agency because we'll include this in the time, but we can absolutely 100% guaranteed get this done in less than 5 minutes. And that's why I say, you know, the security contracts take on average about 5 minutes. Some of them may take you longer. A lot of them you can get done in 2 or 3 minutes. Like the recover valuables, if you just zip and zoom over there on your oppressor, you're good to go. And that's exactly what we're gonna do here. It still should probably take you about 3 minutes anyway if you're hustling really fast. But like going to this Vanilla Unicorn location and just finding the safe code, cracking open the safe and leaving, it's so fast, it's so simple, and it's fun. Like I have fun in this game grinding money. I like the idea of earning money and constantly getting faster with my strategies and practices and, you know, things like that. Like A lot of players obviously think GTA Online is a grind, which it is, but if you can just kind of, I mean, maybe you have to gaslight yourself into doing it, but if you can get behind the idea of the grind being fun and just being fast and trying to improve your time, like literally treat it like a game and have fun. Games are meant to be fun. You will enjoy yourself, I think. This is some content that I think has a lot of longevity to it. The agency is always a business I recommend to players. You know, there's a couple other businesses in the game which are really good too. Of course, you could do your Cayo Perico, you could do your salvage yard robberies, the garment factory, the auto shop. I'm doing all that as well. But when it comes between the Dr. Dre contract or Cayo Perico, I will take the Dr. Dre contract and the agency activities over the Kasatka and Cayo Perico any day, just because of the fact that I just found it really easy to burn out with Cayo Perico. So that being said, you just got to look for this little key card, or excuse me, sticky note. I was about to say key card for some reason. I had keypad in my head, then key card. Neither are correct. But as long as you know the safe, or you know where the safe is, you could pick up that little note card. That gives you the save combo, sort of like a stash house, but you don't have to punch in the code yourself. Then, unfortunately, you just have a lot of these slow D-pad prompts of needing to take the item. You need to, you know, hit right on the D-pad to grab the code, hit right on the D-pad to access the safe and unlock it, right on the D-pad to take the item in the safe. I mean, it should just be auto pickup, but it is what it is. Not the biggest deal. There's going to be some enemies chasing you, but you don't even have to engage. I usually do anyway. If you guys are watching my B-roll, you'll see it, but for this mission, I'm just trying to get it done as soon as possible. I'm at 2 minutes, 19 seconds on my timer right now. So this security contract is a blowing buy-in. What are we making for the $69,000, I think, with double money just on professional difficulty? Like I said in the commentary as well, stick to the same session. That way you could start building up your momentum, and that's when the security contracts get really, really good, because you'll start getting specialist and specialist plus a lot more, and you won't really get the professional difficulty ones. The moment you change lobbies, it kind of resets, and you'll start getting professional and sometimes specialist. So you got to keep doing them in the same session for it to really make a difference. But even if you're just changing lobbies, still with the double money this week, it's great. And also consider the fact that I would say many players also just don't have their agency wall save generating the maximum amount of daily income as well. Consider that as well. Like, I'm boosting it up on my second character right now, so we're not even done on this character. But a lot of players as well, like as soon as you sign into the game, go into your agency, grab your snacks and armor, come down, do a security contract, and hit up the Dr. Dre contract. Like, I'm about to start yet another run through, and I'm almost at the finale. I'm about to record yet another finale for another gameplay video and just doing it as fast as possible. So really fast, really simple to get this done. Let's go start up the finale to that Dr. Dre contract, shall we? We gotta hunt down good old Johnny Guns. He is going down, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to mess with Dre, hence the mission title. Now, this one, I think probably you can get it done in about 10 minutes. There's 2 firefights. First, we track down Johnny Guns, kill a whole bunch of his goons. He escapes. We go to LSIA and to an airport hangar. We kill more goons of his, and then we take him out back. Dre takes out the trash, and we drive him to his helicopter, and the mission's over. Now, I don't have a personal vehicle at the ready because I had my oppressor out in the previous lobby, so I'm going to take the NS Jubilee, which, by the way, this company vehicle, this agency vehicle that you get to, provided for free as long as you're doing missions. First of all, really fast. Comes with the Monty Tech. Super, super good, like performance-wise, handling, traction. I mean, this is a big, bulky Rolls-Royce SUV, but look how fast this thing is. Look at the speed at which you could take corners. You can feel free to use your personal vehicle for this mission, but I just didn't have it at the ready because I have my oppressor. And this one's just fine as a substitute. You know how usually, like, the vehicles you get are, like, kind of crappy? This one is definitely not the case. Now, here's Johnny Guns. Okay, I had it backwards in my head. We don't kill everyone first. He escapes first, then we kill everyone. And I just love, like... Oh, sorry, I'm gonna move my microphone a little bit out of the way. Let's use the service carbine, because the M16 is gas. I love it. Watch out for the enemies on the rooftops. That's really all you gotta worry about. I feel like... Did my sensitivity change or something? It feels slightly higher than normal. I don't know necessarily what it is. I'm gonna do this mission, like, start to finish, though, so you can see just what the vibe is like. Plenty of enemies. Just make sure, if you're shooting these guys with RPGs... I did fail this one time because I shot that little thing in the way right there. So just make sure the SUV gets to a certain point where you can blow it up, and don't shoot these little things right here, because I hit that with an RPG of mine in the past and blew myself up. I didn't fail the mission. I still had that extra life, but I feel like if there is a point in the mission that you're gonna fail, it's at the end by the airport hangar, where there's just more enemies that do more damage. Whereas this part, like, I mean, the ROCKSTAR decided to spawn you in this train car, so if you die, it really is a skill issue. I mean, because you at any point can just pop back into cover if you're face tanking too much damage. There's one more car. Okay, it's approaching. I was wondering where it was, what it was doing. So we'll just quickly take those guys out. Now, my Anus Jubilee, I actually forget where it is. It should be, oh, it's all the way back there. Look, you can see it in the distance. Okay, so that did take me another 15 seconds to run down the street. So that's one advantage of using your personal vehicle for the mission. You don't have to run really far away, because despite me driving there, before I had the cutscene of Johnny Guns escaping, for some reason the game respawns my car and moves it further down the road. Literally just to make me take longer completing the mission, I guess. But now all we need to do is go to LSIA. You don't encounter any enemies or gunfights or anything, so you can just drive all the way there. And with that being said, let's skip ahead. So once you're at the airport hangar, it's basically a repeat of that story mode mission, except this time someone isn't getting sucked into the jet engines, but you access the hangar from the same open door and stuff like that. This is where I'd recommend you snack up, armor up and stuff if you need to. You're gonna have enemies spawning on your left and your right as you move through the hallway and stuff like that. And then there's gonna be enemies spawning literally everywhere in this hangar, and you can only take one route to get around. You sort of loop in the shape of a U. You go to the right, then you cut back to the left. Some of these tanks and stuff can explode, so just make sure you stay out of the way of those, things like that. And I don't know if it's gonna happen just yet. I need to actually move and progress a little bit more through this mission to see, but it's coming up here on the left. I had an issue where this plane's cargo door was actually down. It wasn't supposed to be down. It was just supposed to be up. Excuse me, it wasn't supposed to be up. It was just supposed to be down, blocking the way, but for some reason, it was open, and there were people in that car eliminating me, and they were just, like, sniping me through. Or, excuse me, that was supposed to be up instead of down. And yeah, there's people in that car that, like, shoot at you. But the cargo door was down, but I was still taking hits from them. It was very strange. It happened a while ago. It hasn't happened since. It probably was just, like, one of those strange, weird game bugs that you can't really explain. And I was wondering if it was going to happen again, if it was, like, a consistent thing with this Dre finale or not. It doesn't appear to be, because it's not happening now, and it didn't happen the last time I played through this mission. But just keep it in mind, like, just be careful, you know? You don't really need to take out those enemies. Johnny Guns is going to be up here on this platform. So let's just run up here. I mean, you can see how quick. We're only 5 minutes, 40 seconds into the mission. And even a little bit of that was me leaving the agency and starting the mission. He's going to have a gun. He's going to shoot you, so just shoot him a couple times. You're good to go. We'll grab Johnny Guns. And that's it. The mission's over. We got the cutscene of Dr. Dre coming up. And we need to drive Dr. Dre all the way over to his helicopter. But I don't think you really need to see this cutscene or the drive, so we'll skip ahead and I'll let you know how much time that took as well. So all in all, after watching that cutscene and driving over here was about 4 minutes, because I had 6 minutes on the recording, and then now it's just at 10 minutes, 15 seconds, so the cutscene and the drive over took a total of 4 minutes. So this mission took us, yeah, between 10 or 11 minutes long, and I felt like we kept a decent clip right there. I mean, by the time we get the payout, then this whole thing will be an 11-minute process. But overall, the Dr. Dre contract will take you an hour, 20 minutes, and I spent, you know, an extra 55 minutes to an hour doing the security contracts in between. And so all in all, the money to be made from doing the security contracts will double money, or even just farming Dr. Dre contracts over and over and over if you want. Either one is completely valuable to any person's bank account. $2 million from the payout right there. Super worth it. For me as a player, I prefer doing the Dr. Dre contract nowadays. I don't like doing Kaio anymore. I'm just so burned out on it. It's the same thing with me and like collecting in Red Dead Online, for example. Using the Collector God map and the Gene Ropke Collector map online and doing a collection run of all the non-diggable items every single day. I got sick and tired of doing that. There's no point, right? Like, we got enough money on the account. We actually spent a bunch recently, but either way, like, you know, me as a player, I'm content with the money I have. I have tons of overhead if I need to spend it on new DLCs. That'll last through GTA 6. It's fine. So Dr. Dre contract for me is more of a fun activity to play if I want to do that similar thing to Cayo Perico in terms of scope and scale and things like that. And then you have other content like the Oscar Guzman Flies Again mission and the missions, I should say, as well as Cluck and Bell Farm Raid as sort of like also really high paying content, but not quite to the effect of like Cayo Perico or the Dr. Dre contract. Either way, super fast, super easy to do this stuff this week. And the more you do the Dr. Dre contract and the security contracts, the better you will get. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv. I go live on GTA Online very consistently throughout the week and weekend over on Twitch. And also, if you want some short form content for GTA 5 Online news, tips, tricks, guides, tutorials, all that type of stuff, I have YouTube shorts as well as daily TikToks as well if you want to check those out. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.